guys, and welcome back to the Graceful Tangle YouTube channel. So today I have a super exciting and highly requested tutorial for you guys, and I could not be more excited to be filming it. So I'm going to show you how to make this shawl. This is one of my most popular patterns. It is my Breezy Eyelet shawl, and it is just so easy, so fun, very beginner friendly. So if you are a beginner crocheter, you can totally make this shawl. I'm going to show you how to do it step by step. You can also find the free pattern linked in the description box below and a full list of the materials that you're going to need. So I recommend printing out the pattern. It is free again, so be sure to print it out because it's going to help you to follow along with it, and it will kind of teach you how to read a crochet pattern while you're watching me visually. So I think it's a really good idea to go ahead and print that out and follow along. Now, a couple of other notes that I wanted to be sure to tell you guys about this shawl. So for this specific sample here, for this pink one, I used this yarn. This is We Crochet Comfy Color Mist. This specific color is the colorway Ditto. This one, I believe, is Dahlia, if I remember correctly. I'm not 100% sure about that. But this is a 75% Pima cotton and 25% worsted weight acrylic yarn. So that's the one that I used. You're going to need about 350 yards of worsted weight yarn for this shawl. And for this tutorial, I am going to be using this yarn. So this is a much different yarn. It is woolly. Let me see if I can actually find the. It is 85% wool, 10% silk, and 5% cashmere, and it's also tweedy. So I'm really excited to be using this yarn. I'm going to use 2 hanks of it, which translate again to about 350 yards. Now, you can totally use any yarn, any hook size, literally anything you want to use, you can totally use for this shawl. It is extremely customizable. So if you choose to use, say, a fingering weight yarn, you're going to need a lot more yardage than 350 yards. You're probably going to need, I would say, at least 700. But just, you know, kind of have a good amount of yarn on hand and just crochet until you don't want to make it anymore, until it's big enough, until it's the size that you want. It's, again, super customizable, so don't be scared to use a different yarn if you have something else that you want to use in your stash. Go for it. You can totally do it. So I think that is all for this introduction, so let's just go ahead and hop into the tutorial. Okay, so I am all set up and ready to get started on my shawl. Now, a couple of quick things that I want to mention. I am using a 5.5mm crochet hook or a size I. I'll link the one that I'm using down below, but be sure to just choose a hook that corresponds to the weight of yarn that you're using. Again, this shawl is so customizable, so basically you just need to choose whatever yarn you want, whatever hook corresponds to that yarn, and get crocheting. It's that simple. Now, one other thing that you want to have on hand is a stitch marker like this one. Now, this is not absolutely necessary, but I am going to show you how to use it, and it could come in handy if you are a more beginner crocheter. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. So, we're going to start off by making a slip knot, just like so, and we're going to place that on our hook. Now, we are going to chain 3, and work 3 double crochets into this third chain from our hook. This is going to be row 1. So we're going to skip this first chain, skip the second, and work 3 double crochets into the third. So there's 1, 2, and 3 double crochets. Now for row 2, we are going to chain 2 and turn, and then we're going to work a double crochet, chain 1, and double crochet all into that first stitch. So this is our first eyelet row and our first increase. So this is the side that we're increasing on, and we won't increase on the other side. That's going to be our straight edge. Okay, so I worked my double crochet, my chain 1, and my double crochet. Now I'm going to chain 1, skip 1, and double crochet in that last stitch. And there we go. That's the end of row 2. So this is where you might want to place your stitch marker. You will just place it on this far side, and it's going to mark that this is the side that we increase on. So it's going to become pretty evident pretty quickly what size we're increasing on. But again, if you're a little bit more of a beginner, it could be really helpful to have that little marker. So I'm just going to place that right there and start row 3. Now for row 3, we're going to chain 2 and turn. Then we're going to work a double crochet in each stitch and chain across until our last double crochet. So I'm going to start off by working a double crochet in this first stitch. And then I'm going to work a double crochet in this chain 1 space, which is going to count it like a normal stitch. And then I'm going to work a double crochet in the next stitch, a double crochet in that chain 1 space, and now I have 1 stitch remaining. Now remember, this chain 2 does not count as a stitch. It is simply our turning chain, and it gets us to the right height to work double crochets and makes our edge stay nice and straight. Okay, so I've made it to my last stitch, and now I'm just going to double crochet 3 into that stitch. So again, we are increasing on this side. So that's 2 double crochets, and there's 3. Okay, now for row 4 and all the way until your shawl is as big as you want it to be. For me, that's going to be about 55 rows-ish, or until I run out of yarn, whichever comes first, honestly. So for rows 4, again, to whenever you want to end your shawl, we're just going to repeat rows 2 and 3. So I'm going to show you the repeat a couple of more times so that you can get the hang of it. So our row 2 repeat is chain 2 and turn. Work a double crochet in that first stitch, and then a chain 1 and another double crochet into that first stitch as well. And then we're going to chain 1, skip 1, double crochet in the next stitch all the way across. So chain 1, skip 1, double crochet in the next stitch. Chain 1, skip 1, double crochet in the next stitch. And again, that chain 2 does not count as a stitch. Okay, and then our row 3 repeat, we're going to chain 2 and turn. Work a double crochet in each stitch and chain across until you get to your last double crochet. So I'm just going to double crochet in each stitch and chain across. We're just treating those chain 1 spaces as a normal stitch, because that chain 1, it counts as a stitch, got tongue-tied there, and only 1 stitch. So we're only working 1 double crochet into that space. Okay, I'm almost to the end here. 1 more stitch, there we go. And now I have reached my very last double crochet, and I'm just going to work 3 double crochets into that. And 1 more. There we go, almost missed that last one. And we're just going to repeat again rows 2 and 3 all the way to the end. So I'm going to show you one last time, and then I will leave you to it. So our row 2 repeat is chain 2 and turn. Work a double crochet, chain 1, and double crochet into this very first stitch. So there's a double crochet, chain 1, and double crochet. And then chain 1, skip 1, double crochet in the next stitch all the way across. Chain 1, skip 1, double crochet in the next stitch. Chain 1, skip 1, double crochet in the next stitch. All the way across. Okay, now we're going to chain 2 and turn and work our row 3 repeat. We're going to double crochet in each stitch across until we get to this very last double crochet. So again, I'm just treating those chain 1 spaces as a single stitch. I'm just going to crochet into them as normal. And I'm going to do that in every stitch and space across. Double crochet here. So as you can see, this is definitely a beginner-friendly shawl. It is so simple, therapeutic, and mindless to do. And I just love this pattern so much. And I hope that you guys do as well. Okay, just a couple of stitches remaining here. My ball is flying all over my floor. I know y'all can't see it, but I feel it. Okay, and then I'm to that last stitch, so I'm just going to work 3 double crochets into that. Just like so. And now I'm just going to repeat rows 2 and 3 until I reach the end of my shawl. So I'm going to work 1 more repeat on camera at my normal pace, but I'm just going to play music over it so that you can kind of see only my hands working and see exactly what I'm doing. And then I will leave you to it and meet you back here when our shawl is complete. Okay, so now I have finished my shawl. Now for this specific sample, I did do the 55 rows that the pattern calls for, and then I stopped at 55. This is really the size that works for me, but you can, like I said earlier, you can simply just make yours much bigger or much smaller than mine by simply decreasing that pattern repeat. So be sure to keep that in mind, and that is also what makes it so customizable for different yarns and different yarn weights as well. So I have finished my last row here. So now literally all that's left to do is simply cut your yarn with whatever scissors that you have. I happen to have my very, very old scissors. And then we are going to just weave in our tails with a yarn needle. There's really no rhyme or reason to this. Just make sure that you always do it on the wrong side. Technically, this is a reversible shawl, so you can decide whichever is your right or wrong side when you finish making it. For me personally, I really like this side the best, so I'm just going to weave in my ends on this side. Now I just like to weave in and out of the double crochet stitches, just kind of wherever my yarn needle goes. Honestly, there's no real right or wrong way to do this. You just want to do it in such a way that it's not going to come out. So I'm just going to go through these back stitches here, and that should be good. And then I'm going to come all the way back to where I began my project, and I'm going to remove this stitch marker that I placed at the very beginning and weave in this end as well. So I'm just going to do it the same way. I'm going to thread my needle a little bit to the wrong side and weave in my tail by going through those double crochet stitches. And that is all there is to it. So now I'm just going to cut these ends one last time. Again, super professional scissors here. Fun fact, I've had them since kindergarten. So there's a fact that you might not have wanted to know, but oh well. So anyway, here is our finished shawl. I hope that you enjoyed this tutorial, and I will see you all again next time. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial and found it helpful. I had so much fun making it, and I hope that you enjoyed making your shawl. Be sure to let me know in the comments if you did follow along with this tutorial, and if there are any other tutorials that you would like to see from me in the future. I always want to provide content that you guys are excited about and love. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please go ahead and do that. And don't forget to hit that notification bell so that you don't miss out on any future videos. Check out all of the links in the description box below so that you don't miss out on any of the awesome information. And until then, I will see you all again next time. Bye.